Hey, sixth grade social studies students. It's Mr. Thompson, your sixth grade assistant principal, and I'm excited to get to talk to you and read and learn alongside of you about a little bit more about the continent Asia and the history of the country China. So I'll go ahead and get started and read along with you as you follow along on my screen. We'll talk about the gifts of ancient China first. Do you enjoy fireworks or playing with a yo yo? Thank the Chinese people for these inventions. As you hold this newspaper or see it online, you should know the Chinese first developed paper and block printing. People in other cultures were using clay tablets and woven papyrus reeds. And if they wanted to copy something, they did it by hand. Chinese block printing made books easier to print. Do you use a toothbrush or like playing soccer? Scientists think these originated in China thousands of years ago. The Chinese gave the world many more gifts: paper money, eyeglasses, umbrellas, waterproof clothing, and the harness and stirrup were all Chinese inventions. The ancient Chinese were the first to use coal for heating and made cloth from cocoons of silkworms. They used kites as a form of communication, not just as something to do on a windy day. The Chinese made the first compasses using lotus stone. They invented gunpowder for firecrackers, not weapons. Some people also say the Chinese, not the Dutch, made the first windmills. In this issue, we will learn more about the ancient Chinese and their contributions to the world. What do you know about the country of China? Ever hear of the Great Wall, the Forbidden City, or Confucius? Chinese is part of Asia and is the fourth largest country in the world. People have lived in China since 5000 BC, which makes it one of the oldest world civilizations. Excuse me, one of the world's oldest civilizations. When you think of mummies or preserved bodies, you probably think of the ancient Egyptians. But the Chinese have mummies too. In the 1980s, the world learned about wonderfully preserved mummies from northwestern China called the Takala Makan mummies. They are more than 4,000 years old. That makes them hundreds of years older than the Egyptian mummy of King Tut. Archaeologists have found that more than 100 mummies in China Archaeologists have found more than 100 mummies in China. One of the mummies is 6 feet 6 inches tall. That's tall even today. With long, reddish hair, this mummy has a purple red suit and horizontally striped stockings of red, yellow, and blue. Pretty colorful. He also was found with not one, but 10 hats. Archaeologists also found a baby girl with red wool in her nostrils and little blue stones covering her eye sockets. She was buried with a cow horn cup and a bottle. What makes these mummies even more unusual is that they are not Chinese. They are Caucasian or white. How on earth did these Caucasian mummies with their pointed noses, blonde and red hair, and deep set eyes find their way into China thousands of years ago? No one knows. Here's a few details right here about some recent discoveries.